Hey guys, I'm MarchingSalsa,
And I'm Eli.
and today we're reviewing Playdead's 2016 Inside.
Inside is a spiritual sequel to Limbo, Playdead's critically acclaimed game of 2010. Like Limbo, Inside is a short, atmospheric puzzle platformer with simple mechanics and a minimal story. Inside was one of my favorite games of 2016. Possibly my game of the year. I still have to play some of the big releases from 2016 that I'm interested in. But yeah, there's not too much competition for it that I've seen so far, other than Doom. I like Doom a lot.
Doom is good. That'll be another one.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Doom. All right. So gameplay wise, actually, let's start off with that. Gameplay wise, what's one of your favorite things on this?
As far as that goes, I really like the underwater parts where you're running away from the long-haired little
The ring-looking chick
thing.
Yeah,
That was terrifying.
it is.
And that's definitely one of the standout sections. The ending section with where you turn into the crazy blob monster, amazing.
Yeah, that's honestly that and the long-haired water chick is probably one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's the gameplay is very simple in this game. It's not a complex or particularly dynamic game.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out.
I wouldn't say it has all that much replay value. I've played it several times over. There's not very much you can do differently.
Yeah,
It's either you solve the puzzle or you don't solve the puzzle. You die or you don't die.
There's not many options to do things. It's pretty straightforward. So, but
I think that's a bit of a strength.
Yeah, I was about to say that is a bit of a strength for it, because there's not. I mean, it's not like it's easy or there's parts I've got stumped on. I mean, like you've said, Limbo is harder, but I got pretty stumped on this a few times.
I think how linear and constrained the game is, I think, works in its favor because every part of it feels very meticulously, finely crafted. Like they paid attention to every single detail.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Which is obviously a lot harder to do in games where you have a lot of freedom and choice.
Yeah.
Although it's a very simple game, there's you can run, you can jump, and you can grab onto things.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty simple.
Yes. I thought they used those simple elements very well. Even though the gameplay mechanics are very simple, they were able to get a lot of interesting, inventive puzzles out of it. Like for example, I really like the stuff with the zombie looking guys that you control. That's a really interesting mechanic. I don't think I've seen another game do something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. But that when I stumbled upon that was one of probably the coolest things I've ever seen, especially in a 2D platformer. I've never seen that in a 2D, especially let alone a 3D.
It's very different from other games where you'll have followers or people that come along with you, because it's not an AI following you. It mimics your exact actions. I think I've seen another game do that, but I can't think of what it is right now.
Yeah. Other than that, though, the graphics of it is pretty.
Oh,
that's pretty.
Graphics,
It's pretty strong in that aspect, especially for a 2D platformer. And all the mechanics, just you can see all the rain droplets everywhere, the lights, the shadows, especially the shadowing, especially with the limited color palette they use.
And I love how the framing is very cinematic on this game. It's like a shot you would see in a movie.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just very aesthetically pleasing, and again, I think that's because of how linear the game is. every single bit of it is set up to be really pleasing to look at. As opposed to other games that might have, certain views or cool places that you can look at, but other places are just sort of in between.
Yeah.
And that's because this game is so linear, and also because it's pretty short.
Yeah.
I
They had a lot
like
more time to focus on these fixed areas rather than
They
possible
can put a lot
areas
of,
you could visit.
A lot of attention into all the little details.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But and you mentioned the color palette. The color palette is great in this game. It's just colorful enough while still feeling bleak and post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the fact that you stand out from everything, with your red shirt. You kind of poke out from everything in the game. It seems like everything, their theme is black. Like all of the AI or the ones you control. What are they? White, I believe.
It's more gray. Yeah, they are. They're pretty pale.
Yeah, like a grayish, whitish kind of pale. And that I feel like scenes like that are kind of what add to the atmosphere of this game.
This is a very creepy scene. All these, if you look closely, these pigs are not. They're alive. They're moving around a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of look almost as if they're like sedated. Not to the point where they're sleeping, but when they're in like a zombie state. But like there's not a lot of music in this game, but like I feel like the sounds of it, it's pretty creepy, especially once you get to the second half with the gravity wave, that's coming out, and you can hear the before it, comes and actually the wave actually comes and starts knocking shit off. It's it's kind of scary at first. You don't know. You walk in there and you hear the sound. You're like, what the hell? And then you get thrown off the ledge.
What I loved about that part is you hear the sound of that thing like long before you actually go in that place. You're in that. There's that puzzle where you have to gather all of the zombie guys. And, get them on the thing. You hear it like. You can hear it from the next room. It's muted and you're just wondering. It's a very long puzzle, and you're wondering the whole time, what is that sound? What's going on? And it's a nice payoff when you get to that area, and it's some crazy shockwave that is destroying everything. That was a great moment.
Pretty satisfying for the amount of gameplay there is. There's not a whole lot, but it's for what it is. It's pretty satisfying.
Yeah, I agree. It's very satisfying. Like they had some good use of vibration and stuff. Like when you pull that parasite out of or I thought it was a tail the first time, but now I think it's some sort of worm stuck in the pig's ass.
Yeah, because it's still moving there.
There's some vibration to that too, right? It's very. So the writing in this game is very minimalist. It's pretty much barely there at all. It's there as much as it needs to be, I think. It does really. It's completely visual storytelling. There's zero dialogue in this game. The puzzles are very well constructed in this game.
They are. And I feel like that makes up for a lot of the story, like the fact that there's not a whole lot of the fact that there's not a whole lot of story, but there's a lot of gameplay that kind of, it kind of distracts you from the fact that there's no story. You feel like there's a story because you're trying to figure out what's going on. I
don't agree that there's no story. It's just a very subtle.
Well, yeah, not no story, but
it's a story that
some people feel that way. I know I felt that way at first, but then I got to thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, you have to. It's an experience first and foremost. Before the story is kind of secondary to the experience. Because just seeing the environments in this game and playing it feels great, and it doesn't need like a concrete story to back it up necessarily. That's there. That's also there, but it's not the main point. Puzzle game is a good genre for what they were making here, because since you have to solve the puzzles and you'll get stuck for a little bit, that forces you to stick around in the environment.
All right, so the general wrap up here we're gonna give this game is our general purpose is to tell you whether it's recommendable or not. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Before we do that, can we talk about the giant blob in the room? As it were.
Yes.
Because I feel like
this does need mentioning. I'm sorry. It does.
Yeah, I think it almost deserves its own segment.
Because it feels like a whole nother half of the game, a whole new mechanic.
It's only really the last 20 minutes probably less, 10 or 15 minutes of the game, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it's
I think the way I played it, I kind of messed around a little bit. I like the blob,
sure.
Rolled around and
I did on my first time through too. So for those who haven't played, and the spoiler warning will be earlier at some point, so hopefully if you care about that, you're not watching this. At the end of the game, the little boy that you play as gets sucked into a grotesque, weird blob monster, and you become the blob, and
blob.
It's the weirdest thing. There's just half-formed body parts sticking out all over the place, and you can
just see half torsos, and I see that guy on the top is a torso. Or on the side right there, but he doesn't have any arms.
Yeah,
you see that it's weird. And then you can see an arm.
There's just arms and legs.
There's arms and legs holding you up as you're walking, and
And it's what really was stunned me about this part was the physics and animations on this.
The destruction factors right here were pretty.
That. You don't even have to destroy that. They put. It seems like they put so much time into this weird blob thing at the end of the game. It's really nice considering that you don't even play for it or play as it for that long.
Yeah, you got to make it fun.
But it's an amazing moment, and but they probably didn't have to put as much work into it as they did. It's a really nice. The animation. The animation is probably the smoothest I've ever seen on this thing.
Yeah, the way you fall, the way it rolls on itself, and it feels top heavy when you're trying to run with it too.
Yeah, and it reacts kind of to how you're if you fall over and roll, it'll just start standing on the legs and stuff that are on that side.
Yeah, so you're always supported. You can run it's like a wheel of legs.
Yeah, the blob monster part, just fantastic. That's what really pushed this game over the line from great to amazing to me.
Definitely. Well, when I stumbled upon this, did not even know it was coming. You were there when I played it the first time. When I came upon it, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You have to know that I was sitting there oh man,
the blob's coming.
He's gonna flip his shit.
And I totally did. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then the physics were different. The way you ran, I was like, "Okay, this is a whole new thing."
If you're going to...
And it's awesome. This is the replay value is in the blob. Period.
I don't know about that. It's really not that long of a section.
I know. I mean, for me, I'm you know me. I'm not a huge 2D platformer. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but the blob, I could play this all day, 2D or not. I don't know. It's just it's really, to me, it's a super atmospheric game. It's incredibly smooth. It's got it's simple but uses mechanics that most games, 2D platformers and 3D don't even use. Like there's a lot of qualities to it, and for me, you know, I don't know about you, Eli, but I give it a thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely. I wish I could give it more than. I will give it 2 thumbs up. I wish I had more. I wish I had more thumbs.
We'll add 4 to that because I mean, personally, I am not a 2D platformer.
If I had more thumbs, if I was a giant blob monster with arms and stuff coming out of me, all of the thumbs would be up.
Every one of the thumbs.
I love this game. It's very short. If you don't feel that the price is worth it for how short it is, I would wait till it goes on sale and then get it anyway because it's great.
Definitely, a lot of. Would you? Did you originally get this on Steam? Is it on Steam?
No, I got this on the PS4. Well, it's probably on Steam. Yeah,
it might be on Steam, but you know, right now we're playing it on PlayStation 4. Got it from the PlayStation 4 store on sale. So I don't know. We give it thumbs up. We highly recommend it. As many thumbs
up as it is possible to give.
Yeah, as many thumbs up as there are thumbs. We're giving them up. So you know,
my thumbs are involved with the game right now.
Right. Yep. So that's it, guys. You know, I'm MarchingSalsa. It's Eli. We're closing out with a thumbs up recommendation for Inside.